Karen is a very unusual girl. She is a young vampire. But, she is also unusual by vampire standards because she has a rare condition. Vampires usually suck the blood out of their victims. But, Karen's body produces an excessive amount of blood. It's more than her body can handle. So, once a month she has to give out her blood to others. She has had this condition her whole life and has learned to live with it relatively well. That is until Kenta joins her class. The relationship between these two is odd at first. Kenta's unusually depressed mood causes Karen's body to overproduce blood. She can't deal with this comfortably, so she takes it upon herself to cheer him up and become his friend. He becomes the only person who knows Karen's secret and true nature. Because of this, a bond forms between them and romantic feelings start to develop. Hazuki is vampire girl and Kai is a young man who works as a photographer. He specializes in photographing the paranormal. Hazuki is currently sealed up in a castle, in Germany, due to a special object. She notices Kai's fascination with the supernatural and she tries to bite him and turn him into her slave so that she can escape. Unfortunately, due to Kai's mysterious background, this didn't work out quite as planned. But, Kai still agrees to help her escape her confinements. Once they leave together, their adventurous story begins. Due to Kai being oblivious to paranormal spirits and his innate protection against vampires, Hazuki is drawn to him. Also, she can't control him like she can other people she's bitten, so they share a heated relationship in that regard. Their time spent together in Kai's home in Japan nurtures a bond between the two. Together they fend off attempts from Hazuki's father to retrieve her and return her to her imprisonment in the castle. They grow closer as a result and develop a mature romantic relationship.
Moonbase.
There is a special district off the coast of Japan that has been made into a haven for vampires. The ruler of all vampires, Mina Teeps, is planning to make an announcement to the world about the existence of her kind. However, this goes against over a millennia of vampire politics and culture. Many of them do not want this to happen. Besides rival factions, there are terrorists and other organizations that do not want this announcement made. The person most responsible for protecting her is Akira Kuburagi. Her well-being is vital if they are going to make this transition into a new world where vampires and humans live together. Akira met Mina at a very early age and since that time has made a promise to always protect her. Coincidentally, it was later revealed to him that he would be appointed as her bodyguard. His protection goes beyond his job, he deeply cares for her as a person. Luckily, he was born from a clan of werewolves. So, he has great regenerative capabilities. He needs them since he is always putting himself in harm's way for her. Especially since her often signs with the vampires and is shunned by humans because of this. The story starts in 12th century Japan. We are introduced to a legendary swordsman named Kira Minamoto. He is on the run from assassins. They were sent by his brother who had recently become the ruler of Hike. While on the run, Kira meets a beautiful woman named Kiramitsu. The two quickly fall in love. But, like most love at first sight stories, there is a huge problem. Kiramitsu is actually an immortal vampire. Their love story crosses centuries and betrayal. After their initial time together, Kiru's transformation into an immortal being is interrupted and he wakes up hundreds of years in the future. He then is forced to fight the Red Army, who have oppressed the citizens of Japan. All the while he is searching for answers as to Kiramitsu's whereabouts. Though his true love left him for dead, he hasn't given up on their relationship. He continues to fight to reunite with her. Zakunano was miraculously accepted by the Yokai Private Academy. Unfortunately for him, this is an institute attended exclusively by monsters. While he contemplates running away from this obvious mistaken acceptance, he happens to meet Mocha. She is one of the most popular girls at school and one of the most beautiful as well. With her in attendance, he feels that maybe life at Yokai Private Academy may not be so bad. However, he doesn't know that Mocha has a secret contained in the rosary she always wears around her neck. A rosary that he is somehow connected to. She is the first person Zakun meets at Yokai Private Academy. Even though she receives a lot of attention from male students, she only gives Zakun the time of day. She appreciates being able to have a friend who is a normal human. They quickly fall for one another. They grow even closer once they realize Zakun is the only one capable of removing Mocha's rosary and unleashing her true form. Later on, he creates friendships with other girls at the school. They all become interested in him romantically, but he gracefully declines their offers while he remains in love with only Mocha. Fortune Arterial's main character is Kai Hoskura. He has just transferred to a prestigious Western-style 6-year academy. He's optimistic about this change in schools and location, the school being located offshore from mainland Japan. However, immediately things become troubling when he notices that one of the other students in his grade is a vampire. This vampire's name is Erika Sendo and she is the student council vice president. At first, their interactions are awkward because she always backs away and becomes uncomfortable in his presence. But, this is simply because she is attracted to him and especially the scent of his blood. Though she always fights her urges to sink her teeth into his neck, it takes all of her willpower to do so. On one particular night, Kai agrees to let her bite him because she looked to be physically suffering from her inner turmoil. It's at this point that she allows herself to feel comfortable around him and she falls in love. This was a big moment for Kai as well. He had stopped allowing himself to grow close to others because he was always moving and transferring to other schools. But, at that particular moment he let down his walls and accepted Erika into his heart as well. Saya Otonashi is a member of her school's track and field club. She has a pretty normal life, except for one thing. She has no memories of her life beyond this past year. Suddenly, she finds herself having to fight monsters known as Droptrons. It appears that she is the only one capable of defeating these abominations. Things finally start to make sense once it's revealed that she is in fact the Droptron Queen. Haji is one of Saya's oldest friends. He first met her when he was 12 years old. At first they had an antagonistic relationship because Haji had been purchased by Amshel, taken from his family, and forced to live with Saya. But, the two of them grew closer over the years and Haji grew up into a man. Saya doesn't age. After a dangerous incident, Saya turns Haji into her only chevalier, meaning he imbibed her blood and developed abilities. He has shown an enormous amount of loyalty and patience. This was demonstrated when Saya had lost her memories and Haji was able to make her fall in love with him again as she slowly regained them.
Saya. Before you go to sleep, say your prayers and hope for pleasant dreams.
This OVA follows a half-human, half-vampire hybrid known as D. He is on a mission to find Charlotte Elborn, who was abducted by an extremely powerful vampire named Myra Link. She is the daughter of an affluent family and her father has put out a handsome bounty for her return. The Marcus brothers, or Marcus clan, are vampire hunters who have accepted the same bounty. Dee has to outsmart the Marcus brothers, defeat Myra, and return Charlotte back to her family in one piece. Charlotte and Meyer share love that is forbidden by society. Eventually, the two run away from Charlotte's family so that they can be together. She proves to be extremely loyal to Meyer, even offering to die rather than be separated from her lover. Meyer in return continually fights his bloodlust urges to bite her. His admiration and compassion for her always overcomes his thoughts of biting her. They face many challenges along the way, but they always do whatever it takes to return to one another.
In a time of great unrest, one imperfect man battles the darkness, alone.
In the distant future, the Vatican is the only line of defense against vampires. One of their most revered warriors is a priest who is also a chronic, or a vampire who drinks the blood of other vampires. This man's name is Abel Nitro. While traveling, he meets Esther Blanchett, a nun who decides to join Abel on his voyage and aims to train at the Vatican. Soon after, they make contact with the Rosen crew as Orton and Abel's twin brother, Cain. Their objective is to cause a war between the Vatican and the Empire. It's up to Cain and Axe, a special operations group, to prevent them from inciting a massive war. Various characters harbor romantic and unrequited romantic feelings. First, there is Ion, who has feelings for Esther. Fans commonly ship these two together in fan fiction. Second, Esther has an awkward crush on Abel early on. But it seems to fade away as the story progresses and turns into appreciation and friendship. Third, Katarina Sforza, the founder of Axe, possesses one-sided feelings for Abel. She shows jealousy towards his relationship with Esther. Next, there is No Elber, who confesses her love to Abel, which he accepts but gracefully declines. The last one I'll mention is Abel's undying love for his deceased lover, Lilith Saul. After her death, he mourned the loss for over 900 years. He still thinks about her to the point of not being able to develop romantic feelings for anybody else. Academy is a very unique school that caters to a special type of student body. The regular students are kept separate from the elites. There is the day class, regular, and the night class, elite. These elite students are actually vampires. So, the regular humans have to be kept separate to maintain order and a certain amount of safety. One of the students who helps keep order during the transition of classes is Yuki Cross. As her name states, she is related to the Cross Academy's chairman. She is adamant about completing her responsibilities in an efficient manner. But, she also enjoys her position because it allows her to interact with her crush, Kaname Karan. Yuki and Kaname's first interaction happened 10 years prior to the events of this series. At that time Kaname saved Yuki from an